back. Catch Up with TV here, and we're ready to talk. You know, I'm Fitz.
I'm Natasha.
And we have the special guest again.
I'm Nick.
Bam, we're ready to talk. So, what is the topic?
The Kardashians are trying to stop Chyna from using their name, which is understood on their list that she is not yet a Kardashian, but how are you going to stop her from using that name once she marries into the family?
But they have a lawsuit going on, right?
Yeah, they're trying to stop her from using the name. Which it's just a testament to their real, true characters. They can portray whatever they want on their reality show, but it shows that they really don't give a fuck about family.
It's more about money.
It's more about money than anything.
I agree.
While she is family, she's not
Black.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't.
She got an entire baby by the brother who had.
Dream is family.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
So they can't stop her from using
Yeah,
that. Her.
I don't agree with it, but I kind of
see where they're coming from.
I mean, if they want to stop it where she can't have anything that's like business with the Kardashian name, that's understandable. But for her to not be able to have the name at all, like, what did you expect when the only male Kardashian was to get married? Like, what did you expect was gonna happen?
And like I said, I agree with you. Like, as far as like when business
and I can
goes,
see both sides of that. In that aspect.
They put the
only in the business aspect. That's fine.
Like they put the empire.
But I don't even know if that's the extent of it, where they just trying to block her from having it, period, or if they just don't want her to use that name for like business endeavors and for like social media or whatever.
I'm sure it's more about that because that's the whole point.
Her being her own woman, I doubt she would need to go by.
I personally, that's about to bring race into it.
She already has her own thing.
Think that they don't want a black person a black woman associated with their brand, especially with the stereotypes that come with being a black woman.
Well, I mean, I would hope that they wouldn't be that dumb because at the end of the day.
Well, we already know how white women
I understand
are
that she's not a Kardashian and she's a West, but her daughter is a black woman.
Period.
That's not that.
We know.
That goes to another topic we're gonna get on later on in the show. Like some black women, some white women will have a child, a whole entire child with a black man, not considering their child to be black.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But I would hope
it doesn't matter.
No matter how dark that child's skin is.
It doesn't matter what she considers. Northwest will grow up, and she's a black little girl. She's gonna grow up to be a black woman.
Period.
I don't care if her mother is Armenian or whatever
the fuck she is.
Her dad is black.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a black woman. Yeah. She's a black little girl. She's gonna grow up to be a black woman.
Right. And like I was saying, I think that I pretty much I do agree with the empire situation. They have built their own empire. Kardashians are a brand. So for Blac Chyna, which sucks. I mean, I get it, and even I didn't understand why they had a problem with Rob being with her because she was an ex-stripper. I think although it's wrong, you should better be with her.
His famous,
but what the hell do you
very
mean?
True.
Very true.
Kim put that family on by from dick to dick. Every black dick that had power or a name for itself.
Very true.
I mean, because people
know
who Robert Kardashian was,
and that's another argument. I wasn't even bringing up. No, sister was brought up.
People knew who Robert Kardashian was because of a black man. They knew who Kim Kardashian is, and the rest of her family is because of a black man. So.
Well,
either way, like it's one thing to take off your clothes for strangers, but you've allowed
the whole world,
the world to see. I understand it was your boyfriend
at the time, to play it down,
but you've allowed the world to see.
Oh, this is the personal thing. No, at the end of the day, she was in a porn video and put her entire family on because she was having sex with a black man. He put that entire family on. Period. Point.
But when we're speaking about business, it's business wise. We know for a fact that the business doesn't look at Kardashian or the Kardashian brand.
And if that's the case, she used Kanye West's last name for fame. Oh, because Kanye West is way more famous.
Yes, definitely. And I'm paying devil advocate. I'm not saying that
she's still a white woman in America.
Yeah.
So that's not entirely true.
And that's there you go. That's even more reason why Blac Chyna is not looked at as a.
That's what I was saying in the beginning.
Right.
She's a black woman, so they don't want a black woman associated with their brand. Yeah. They know the stigmas that come with being a black person.
Yeah. Very. That's very true. I guess it does come back to that because, like you said, Kim was a fucking porno star, point blank, famous. But porno star, and Blac Chyna is a stripper, which is not being fucked on camera. And for me personally, I do look at
and they bring that up more than they bring up Kim's sex tape. bring up Chyna being an ex-stripper, ex-stripper. She's not presently stripping, but they bring that up more than they bring up Kim.
At least she went to school.
Exactly. Chyna's educated. Went to school. She was stripping with reason. They have plenty of women out here, white and black, stripping just because they stripping.
It's good money.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
I
guess
she's a black woman that's stripped in the past, so she can't live that down because society already paints black women as over-sexualized.
I mean, because
we can't get into it. Everything's about race.
Because of our ladies' curves, they hate and they mad, and they want it anyway. They inject themselves. They do silicone.
Like it goes back to the teacher. And what is it, Atlanta?
Okay.
Like they had at one point they had the picture of the model who was actually wearing the same exact dress. It was a white girl model, and because she doesn't have that body, it just looks like a dress hanging on a figure. But because it had, she has curves that that dress could actually hug. It's like, oh, is this appropriate? And it's like
whatever. She can't help her body shape like that.
Am I supposed to dress like a man or a nun? Like I'm supposed to wear a muumuu to teach these children?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I have a life outside of this classroom.
Yeah, it's crazy as fuck. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna go to another black situation because we know at the end of the day, like you said, at the end of the day, we know why it's the way it is with Blac Chyna. I do wish her well. I do hope that she's able to actually coin her name because she will be. What's her real name? Blac Chyna.
Angela Renee Kardashian. That's the name that she wants to trademark, but they don't want her to do so.
Yeah, so they should give her the right to do that. I do understand the she shouldn't be able to use that as far as appearances and shit. She should still go by Blac Chyna, but she wants to trademark. Because their brand. That's all.
No, I'm just saying, why not continue with Blac Chyna?
Yeah. I mean, you already kind of know
they know who your future husband and the father of your child is. They know who you really are.
Right, they know who you are.
Angela Renee Kardashian, but
because I'm sure if she would have married somebody else, she wouldn't be going by Angela or whatever. She would always.
If her
for legal documents,
that shit should be.
Go ahead and be Angela Kardashian.
And if anybody else use that name, you should be getting paid from it. So. Period. And I wanted to also talk about a lady in Alabama. I don't know if you guys saw it. I saw it on World Star. You guys know I can be a little ratchet. I watch World Star, which is hilarious. So her name was Kimberly Hozah, right? Did I say Hosea? Something like that. Anyway, it's spelled Houzah. She was in Alabama. Shout out to Alabama, Mobile. My pops from there. So she was in Victoria's Secret. I guess the incident that happened was other black woman was stealing in Victoria's Secret, and the manager of Victoria's Secret, which happened to be a white woman, surprise, surprise, kicked all black people. Well, she said, I guess it was the other black woman that was not with her, but it was another black woman in there. She kicked everybody that was black out. So what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think
it's just a part of white people being
able to lump everyone else together, but are offended when they're lumped together.
And the funny thing about it, like, I just struck in my brain, guys. I've been drinking a little bit, so I'm a little pissy. Shit, I'm just gonna pull my damn hood off. But what I just thought about, like, for instance, when a murderer murders, do they consider everybody in their family a murderer? They don't. So that's the same thing as them considering a black person because one black person stealing that, their other women are there stealing. Like, you can't do that. That logic does not make sense. Just as stupid as it just sound by saying the murder scenario.
Exactly.
Is exactly the way that they
one school shooter didn't come from a family of school shooters.
Exactly. Based on that incident, from now on, all white people are racist. Real life. All white people are racist. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are, you're racist. Or what you because who you know. Every black person in that store had to leave. All white people are racist. Period.
And that's pretty much how it sounds. That's pretty much how it comes across because for you to lump every black person or black, I don't give a fuck. She said it was another black woman, but I think if it was a black man was in there shopping for his wife, he would have been kicked out too. Period. Or for his husband, hey. They looked at the color of the skin. It had nothing to do with, I think, female or male. It just so happened that it was black women in there. Which is unfortunate. It sucks, Actually, the lady is a nurse, which is like, come on. And I'm not gonna say nurses don't steal, because I'm sure there's somebody in there that steal. But she said in the video, she had no reason to. Exactly. She said she could buy anything in that fucking store.
My mom always told me, if you can't afford it, you don't need it.
You don't need it. Period. She's like, I can buy anything. She's like, I don't, I watch my money, but I could buy anything. So that's so sad, and it's so like it shows me where America's headed, and like I was telling you, it's going backwards. Like I feel like we taking steps backwards. But the only difference is that we're not going to allow it. People in our age group, it's not going to happen. We're not going to allow somebody to call us nigger and get away with it. Period.
We ain't got time for it.
Period. So it's one of those things to where it just makes me sad. And I hope that she does get paid. I hope she gets some money. I did see that Victoria's Secret fired the lady, the manager, whatever, and they said they did not stand against that. And I posted on Shade
just to save face, they don't really care. That corporation don't give a fuck about
pay her. She should be able to own a couple of Victoria's Secrets because as much money she's gonna get. Because that's so hard. That's just hardening. Like that hurt. That gotta hurt. Like for you just to be walking somewhere because somebody else stole, and which has something to do with integrity for that person. That has nothing to do with the color of their skin. You gonna kick me out because we're the same color,
right?
Like, bitch, I would have flipped them.
No different.
Like I said, I want
all black women are angry, or all black women are BMs,
right? Yeah, it doesn't. That's
we are too often lumped together. And I understand black men have it hard, but black women have it the hardest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would agree. I mean, I would.
Black people collectively have it hard.
Collectively, yes, but when you have a group of people where even the man is against the woman in that group,
I was just about to say.
Well, yeah,
as a black woman, we have it very hard. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of black women out there hollering niggas ain't shit, and they speaking specifically. So when I say the word nigga, I just
I mean we
know that person is a nigga to me. Like,
it's a noun.
I use that word very loosely, but some black women do holler out niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
And they mean it specifically about black men. But I promise you will find more black men talking shit about black women and saying they're this, that, and the third, and I don't mess with black women and blah, blah, blah. Because there are plenty of black women out there who will only date, others, but won't have to sit here and talk about why and black men are this, that, and the third to justify why they date, other men.
Exactly.
But black men will be like, oh, because black women ain't this, they this, that, and the third, and that's why I date, white girls, Asians, Mexicans, or whatever. So it's always more black men talking about black women than the other way around.
Yeah.
So
and this is gonna sound ignorant because I was really just thinking in my mind while you were talking like, should I say this? But I'm gonna say it anyway. The way I feel about it is like this: for a black man to go date outside his race, fine. Interracial love is love. It's beautiful, whatever. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't think I could be with somebody that didn't have black in them because I know their ancestors hated our people, regardless of what the fuck, or think they're better than our people, regardless of what they are.
Right. What is that like teaching your child both sides?
Yeah, has always been on the lower end of the side.
And so it's still not. It just. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, but for me, I don't understand that. The whole change. Like somebody was saying that Nicki Minaj was talking about Kanye West, and I think I brought up in the last video that she was saying how Kanye West pretty much did what he said that niggas do in Gold Digger, how they get on, they ask for a white girl. Like pretty much that's why black women have it hard. Like you said, that's pretty much why, because it happens. It always happens like that. And for me, I wouldn't understand me dating somebody that wasn't black. I'm sorry, there are sexy others. I ain't gonna lie.
No, but okay, that's the thing. Why do they think because we celebrate ourselves that we think that other people are not attractive?
Exactly.
I find white men attractive. I'm just not going to have children and build a family with one.
Hispanic, let me say Latino men attractive. Like I remember I worked with this one dude. I thought he was too fine.
Yeah.
He was Mexican.
Yeah.
So fine, but I wouldn't actually mess with him.
Yeah, but see, that's nothing.
And it has nothing to do with him being Mexican.
Yeah,
it's just because I love
chocolate. Exactly,
like,
and that's the thing. We all need to learn as a humans. We need to learn how to appreciate each other for what we give to society. But it doesn't matter. We don't have to look at somebody as less than because they're not us.
Right, right. It's not like that for us.
Yeah,
that's how
but I feel like it is for a lot of white people. They don't accept you. Because you are another race.
they automatically assume
think
that they're
race is superior.
I remember reading this thing where this woman was saying like she grew up around black people, like she had a black nanny. She like grew up around black people, but it was a situation where she was like kind of in a running for a position, or like they had did like an app test to see like where you were, and she couldn't believe that some black women had scored higher than her. And she said she had to you know, like
check herself
because she was like, you know, I couldn't believe that I felt that way. And it's like, she was like, I guess I inherently believe that because I'm white, I was automatically smarter than.
Yes.
And it's like some white people will realize like, yo, that's like a fucked up way of thinking. Yeah. But most white people will sit there and live with that. Like, crazy. Obviously I'm smarter than this person because they're not white.
Exactly.
But that's just not how the world works.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of it's self-consciousness. Like I think they're not realizing like that they naturally feel that way. You know, I don't think that they realize like she said, she had to check herself. She had to look in, like some example had to come in front of her. Like, oh damn, they are. You know, like I think every white person needs that awakening. Like, it does not matter the color of skin.
White person that don't want to hear about racism from black people, go watch your own counterpart. Somebody like Jane Elliott. Is that her name?
I think that was
you asking the wrong person.
The older lady she been on talk shows.
I think it's Jane Elliott.
Talking to what I appreciate.
If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, she was talking against her, pretty much white people. She was saying, yes, honestly, you guys don't realize you guys.
Some white people are just like so into their racist and their supremacy, believing that they will call another white person who will stand up for people of color. They will call them a traitor or, you know, whatever.
Right. And
refuse to even consider what that person is saying. Because to them, that person's a traitor, and they just don't have time for what they say.
Yes, but
like, yeah, you can direct them to that and like try to educate them on that, but like, you know, you can bring a horse to water but can't force him to drink.
Yeah, that's even funny. Like, we were just talking about like Christianity and the whole religion thing. We're going a whole other way, guys. Follow us, but that shows that Christianity was built by white people because the fact they're like that, even with their own races, that's like how Christians are. If you don't do something that they don't like, regardless if you believe in God, you can be repentant, you can be been baptized and fill back up and fill with the Holy Spirit. If you don't believe what they believe, they're gonna ostracize you. Like they're gonna keep you outside of Christianity, and that's a true thing. That's why people say that Christianity was built by a white man. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Religion as a whole, not necessarily, but Christianity,
for
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
Not believing in Jesus Christ, I do, but it's just
reason why most black people claim to be Christian today, and people don't want to hear it. Is because their slave master forced them to practice the religion that they practice.
I mean, that's in that's in the movies that white people build up. Because I don't give a fuck. I do think that most slave movies are supported by white people, but they even talk about that. They even go deep in talking about the slave masters, reading the Bible to them, and making them more about fearing.
They had to pretend they couldn't even read. They had to pretend like they didn't even know that they were Hebrew Israelites, depicted in the Bible.
But I know already. They tangled up shit. I already know that. I mean, the Bible, so many different versions of the Bible. I would think that it would only be one version. Like, you know, I mean,
that's what she
changed that shit every year.
Like, that
update that shit
every
year.
That it's created by man.
By man, yeah. You know, and that's crazy. But we're not going to go there. Let's go on to next one. We don't talk on. And that conversation can go on and on.
The next thing.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to. I'm sorry, going back a little bit because I just thought about it when we were talking about the Kardashians. Keke Palmer was recently defending Kylie Jenner because Kylie Jenner. There's like, Keke pretty much was saying that people was talking about Kylie because of her old fashion, talking about how ugly she was as a kid, but now that she's changed and stuff. Like people need to, you know, stop.
Accept her.
No. That's not ever. That has never. It's always been the same problem with me for the Kardashians.
But I feel like Keke Palmer needs to stop trying to defend this white girl because this white girl doesn't give a fuck.
The other way around.
Yeah.
What would she have to say?
No. For me, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, the main problem with Kardashians has been, I probably said for me a lot, but I'm passionate about this motherfucker. So my thing is that they take from us and they don't want to admit that.
The appropriation of the
culture vultures is the best
word for them. Hell yeah. Like I do get that maybe it's the tabloids that say, oh, cornrows. This is a new hot fashion from Kylie Jenner.
White people call them boxer braids.
It has been a part of our heritage.
Boxer braids.
Yeah, they changed it. Right. Like it has been part of our heritage forever. In Africa they were doing that shit. Load braids before we even called them braids. So that's what bothers me. That's what makes me like, y'all sit back and allow that shit to be okay. Like y'all can speak the fuck out and say, no, you know what? We actually got it from our homegirls Blac Chyna, whatever fuck her, you know, like, speak on it because it comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like, or find out where it comes from and then say, no, you know what, actually somebody did it before me. And it's still okay, it still flies, it still looks good on you, but preach on that shit. I hate, that's the thing about the Kardashians that
give
bothers
credit
me.
where credit is
It's
due.
due. That it just
They don't do
it
that.
fucking makes
They're
me go
vultures.
crazy. It
They're
fucking makes me go
vultures.
crazy. That's the crazy thing. So I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop talking about Kardashians because I've been fucking
I just wanted to
went off.
like keep stop.
But I did want to talk about Charlamagne and Tommy. I don't know her last name. I'm not gonna talk about her fucking last name.
I don't know how you say it.
Whatever. But that whole. So Charlamagne and I guess Tommy Loren sat back and, you know, they took pictures on Instagram for Instagram and flexed and they were all together. I guess they had a little sit
She
down.
was supposed to be going to do an interview with the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
And then ended up canceling last minute.
Of course she canceled.
And
of course.
so
Of course.
to show that he was, there was no hard feelings. I guess Charlamagne found himself going to a dinner with her and having drinks and stuff with her.
Yeah, and which you know, for me, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with him sitting down talking to her, and they even flex on Instagram because he flexed on Instagram with a bunch of people. So I don't want to spill hate. You know, because she does. You know, I'm not going to trip over it. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, I'm not going to take a picture with you or have dinner with you because your views. Like, I'm not that type of person. I will hear you out, and maybe something I say can persuade you into thinking, you know, better for yourself. Yeah. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But what I did see something wrong with that was when he said that that black women needs to, you know, be empowered or pretty much be like Tommy and make their own platform. That's the problem I do have. Because
Charlamagne does not know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he needs to stop it. Because honestly, I do like Charlamagne. Charlamagne does say a lot of positive things for black people because I follow his podcast. I can't even think of it. Brilliant. Hey guys, so the video ended, which sucks, but we're gonna come back with a part 2 next Friday. All bad, we got heated, as you guys see before, but we out of here. All right, guys, bye. Peace. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. Tell us what you guys think. We appreciate that. And also tell a friend. We out.